What's up, y'all? I am going to be doing a video today on carving for your rugs. If you're a beginner, this is definitely useful. Of course, this video is not going to be enough to go into like depth and detail, but this voiceover that I'm doing right now on my rug, it would just show you some of the essentials of using like your clippers, using your scissors, and just kind of like having certain techniques to be able to, carve your rug and have it looking nice. So hope you'll enjoy and you'll see it on the next video. All right, so starting out, this is my picker. Call it my little pick. And I got this off of Amazon, but what this is used for is to separate your colors. So you have all of your colors there and it's really just separating it. So I'll go through each color and I take that back in so I can make sure to have it smooth in between, which is really going to show like when you start carving your rug, if you can see from right there. And I just go through each line, each one. It is a little bit tedious, but I make sure to go through it so it can have a good carving. And these are the clippers that I use for carving. And how I'm actually doing it is, the best way I can explain it is hold it like a pencil, pretty much. The way that you hold a pencil, you want to make sure that you hold it in like your strongest hand. So if they're right-handed or left-handed, and I hold it at an angle and I just start cutting through, just having and only cutting that particular color. So you want to make sure like when you're going through it, you only see red and not black. You may cut a little bit of it like the other section, but just don't cut too much of it. And if you seen when I had the picker, I go through the picker, and that's something. And sometimes the colors will ultimately still wind up together, but I separate it, and you have to keep doing it each and every time. This also too depends on like your tufting. So you see how small that black is? I don't have enough black in there. So it's also good when you start to tuft, make sure to like double your lines up, make sure you have enough in there. With me doing this for a little while, I can fix it, but with somebody that's literally like starting out in the beginning, it can make you feel a little bit discouraged. But a good tip that I do, which you see here, I go over it. So when you shave it, you see how I'm shaving it? I'm making sure like the clippers are like flat. So you want to make sure like they're flat. You don't want to carve too much. When you get it to like that flat surface, it also helps with you carving it more and more too. So I go through that and I get it like to a flat, even surface. It's still going to be like puffy as well, so don't worry about it. And then when I have little small lines or yarn, like the black I don't have enough of, or it's really like, thin, that's when I start taking my scissors and cutting on top of it just to make sure. So it's really going to show like an outline. The scissors, I love these. I got these off of Etsy. I love these because it's a two-way scissors. So no matter which way, you don't have to turn it or keep turning your scissors. However that it cuts that way. And with scissors, I like using it because you can also get some crisp lines as well. But also, I like to dig into it. So I like to make sure that, kind of like the picker, that I go through it, and then so I can get like some even lines as well. And here I am doing the carving around. I like to turn my rug around. You will see some other rug makers. I haven't gotten to that point yet because it feels a little bit weird for me, but they can just carve in that same setting. Usually for me, I do it based on my comfortability. I turn my rug around based on the angle that I'm trying to cut it, as you can see here. And you see that I'm just hitting that brown. So I'm going nice and slow, hitting that brown, making sure to get all of that extra yarn out and just kind of go from there. And I just do it. It's good to like do it in one setting. So wherever you have those clippers, try to go through it like one time, but it's going to take practice too. But you get some smoother lines when you're able to do that, it'll look pretty dope. And it also helps just with your process of hitting those curving lines, but also angles and things like that. So it definitely helps out a lot. And I believe on this section, these are like my scissors that I say I love, but I wanted to get you at a good angle so you guys can be able to see. So I just lift that up. So you see how like I'm lifting it up? I'm lifting it from the bottom. I'm not going too deep, but I'm just like cutting and pretty much trying to get like a smooth line from it. And it's a longer process than the clippers, but I like going behind it because it gets those little extra, extra yarn that's like sticking up for the most part. But it's practice. It's no technique. You have to practice and practice until you find a technique that works for you. And then you get some crisp lines, as you can see. And you could tell the difference from that pink to like the purple. And this is kind of showing you here what I was speaking about. So you see how that brown part, you can tell like some of it's already shaved. And then you see the pink and the purple is kind of like giving scraggly yarn. So you just want to make sure you start slow, don't try to go fast, and you start at the tip. So you start at that tip and just go through it like nice and slow. You see how it's already, starting to get like that smooth surface. So you go nice and slow, just hitting that purple. And I always press on the color that I'm doing. I press it and then shaving it. So you can have like a little bit pressure, but you also just want to make sure that you don't go too deep as well. So make sure you don't go too deep, that you're hitting the rug. So you're not trying to chop it up. You're just trying to line it up, give it a quick little cut, and just pretty much like going from there. And you continue that process like over and over until you feel like it's right. You can take hours sometimes, or it can take to however that you see fit for the most part. But yeah, this is kind of just like touching on it. This is just a video I wanted to show on exactly how I do the tufting. I can go into more broader videos to where you can be able to see me and I'm talking through the process. So if you do, you can comment and let me know if that will help you out. But if not, I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you are a beginner, one thing I will say, just make sure that, and these are the scissors that I use, just make sure you take your time. You don't have to rush it. Enjoy the process. These are the clippers as well that I use. That's from Amazon. So this is just showing you my broader look.